Come on and celebrate.
Okay, who knew that was a little more complicated song than it seems like? It was a little, either that or you partied on the 4th of July and you let all the good times roll already, so, you know. Good morning. I'm Reverend Dr. Susie Shadle, and I welcome you to Unity of Sarasota, where something fun and good and wonderful is always happening. So we're glad that you're here to be a part of that, because you're actually who creates that good time, and we let it roll. And so I would invite you to know that Unity of Sarasota is a beacon of light and love, opening minds and touching hearts and transforming lives. This is who we are individually, and it is who we are as a spiritual community. And so I'm going to ask you to say that with me, own that, and be that beacon of light and love. Together, we are a beacon of light and love, opening minds, touching hearts, and transforming lives. We're an inclusive spiritual community that embraces empowering and life-affirming practical spirituality for richer living right here and right now in our lives. We join with our unity movement worldwide in creating a world that works for all. That is a big, big vision, and one that I hold very dear, and I know you do too. And so let us join together in truly doing what each of us can individually and what we can do collectively to create a world that works for all. I would say it's sorely needed. Agreed? Are you in on it? Yes. All right, let's do it. We can, you know. We have the power to do it. If you happen to be a guest or a newcomer here for the first time today, or the second time for that matter, please stand and remain standing for just a moment. We like to find out where our folks are visiting from. We also have a gift for you. That's great. We have a gift for you. It is a shell necklace, which is certainly indicative of the gorgeous beaches we have here in Florida. Each shell represents the love that we are individually, and when we string it together into a necklace, we become a community of love. So I'm going to go around the room here, and let's start right here. Where are you visiting from? Yay. Okay. So moved to Florida from Pacific Northwest, someone after my own heart, having done the same. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate you being here. How about in the blue?
I'm Joe. I moved here in 2016 from Ohio.
Ohio. Welcome. Welcome home. We appreciate you being here. How about right behind?
My name's Cassie, and I've lived here for about 2 years.
Great. Welcome home. Glad you're here with us today. How about right there?
I'm Edith Norby. I live in Osprey. I moved here from California a couple of years ago, and I've been visiting another Unity church and zeroing in on this one.
Terrific. Welcome home. We love having you. Thank you. And originally from the same country I am, from Germany. So yes, Pacific Northwest in Germany and Sarasota. All right. How about right here? Venice, all right, welcome, welcome. Just a few miles away. And how about right here?
I'm Medina, and I'm visiting my niece. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm a unit member of in Emmaus.
Terrific, great, welcome. Glad to have you with us.
Hi, I'm Christina. She's my aunt and introduced me to Unity, and I live here in Ellington, so I'm really glad to be here.
Terrific, thank you for being here. Welcome home, everybody. All right, that's wonderful. Now, let me tell you something. David, will you bring the sound down just a little on this? I'm echoing in my own brain, which is scary. Scary in there anyway, but, you know, when there are two of me, it's really scary. I've got to tell you something very important about the necklace you just received. If you take it out of the cute little bag and wear it, when you go into Fellowship Hall for hospitality, you get first-in-line privileges. So put on your necklace and tell everybody, step aside. All right? Also, I believe that Kimberly, who is our board member of the day, Kimberly Bailey, thank you for your service. I believe Kimberly gave you a welcome packet as well. There's some good information in there about Unity. And on the clip to the back is a welcome card. We'd love it if you would fill that out and either put it in the offering plate on your way out of the sanctuary, or take it to Fellowship Hall. There's a red umbrella welcome table in there. You can drop it off there as well. That way we can keep you abreast of things that are going on. We can get to know each other a little bit. So we promise we will not bombard you without your permission. All right, then when you give us permission, look out, so, all right. Excuse me. I want to welcome those who are joining us online on our live stream, which is on our website, unityofsarasota.org. Let's wave to those guys. We feel your energy coming through the ethers right at us, and we're sending it right back. Just know that if you need to miss a service in person, you can always go online and catch it live by going to the website, unityofsarasota.org, go to the services tab and click down to the service you want. Or you can go back there after the fact and catch the recording in the same location. Or you can go to our Facebook page or our YouTube page. So there's no reason to be disconnected in any way. You can always catch up and plug in. Excuse me. Whatever way you're joining us, if you're here in person or you're on the live stream or you're checking out the recording later, you are always welcome here at Unity of Sarasota. Wherever you may be physically and wherever you may be in your spiritual journey, we are excited and eager to take the journey with you because it makes it so much better when we journey together. Let's see, I already did the board member of the day, Kimberly. Today, this very day, there it is, today, second Sundays with Susie after service. Say that fast 10 times and you'll win a prize. I'm not even going to try. It's just a really informal little opportunity to connect. And so when you go to Fellowship Hall, grab some snacks and a coffee and meet me back in. David, may I use your classroom today? David Hawkins' classroom. It's the far left all the way back in the education wing. And we just have a nice discussion. You can ask me questions. We can get to know each other. Very informal. But I really love doing that because it's an opportunity for me to really connect with folks. So see you back there. Caroline, come on up. We have a new, really important thing starting for women, and maybe one of you men will take a cue and start your own thing for the guys. Caroline Roberti, and I've been talking about this for a long time, and we're delayed by COVID, but now we're doing it. So Caroline, tell them what the women have won.
Okay. Oh, I don't know about prizes, but you win the opportunity to come and join us. I draw your attention to the front of your bulletin that you picked up, and it tells about a new group that we're starting beginning on Tuesday. And what I love about Unity is that we all come from so many different spiritual and religious backgrounds. And especially in Florida, we come from not only many parts of the country, but also from other countries, like I do, and this lady here, and Susie. We have several people who've come from other countries. So we women bring a richness to this community that maybe other unities in more remote parts of the country that don't get the mix of people that we do don't have the opportunity for. So Soul Sisters is going to be beginning on Tuesday at 12 noon until 1:30, and every second and fourth Tuesday thereafter. And I will be the facilitator, but anyone else can take a turn. I'm just going to turn the lights on and get things moving. We will have an opportunity to check in, tell each other what's going on in our lives. We will open with a guided meditation. We will have a book that we read, though we're not a book club, but we will use it as a springboard for conversation as we share our lives, as we get to know each other and share our spiritual journeys together. So I will be in Fellowship Hall after the service if you have any questions. And I look forward to meeting you and having you with us on Tuesday.
Terrific. Thank you. Speaking of creating community, we go beyond these four walls, beyond this campus. And so Betty McQueen, stand up and turn around so they can see how wonderful you are. She heads up our blood drives, and we have been big contributors to the blood drives, and it's a lot because you can't say no to this woman, but we're helping the community. We save lives by giving blood. So if you are able to give blood, please consider doing that. That'll be next Sunday, and the bloodmobile will be right here in the parking lot. So see Betty if you are able and willing to do that. Thank you so much. Oh wow, they walk in and right away she takes your blood right away. It's kind of like going to the emergency room, right? All right, thank you, Betty, for all you do. Yay. Also, heads up, Charlie Thweet is going to be back with us the end of this month. He will be here on the 31st doing the service. Also, right after a little bit of lunch, he's doing a workshop. And then on that Wednesday evening, the 3rd, I believe it is, of August, he will be doing a concert for our Wednesday evening music and inspiration. And that's the first Wednesday of the month, so it will also be dedicated to prayer and funding for Ukraine. So be here, tell your friends. It'll be a great evening of music and really setting the consciousness for peace in Ukraine and helping them to move through these difficult times. So please come on that Wednesday. How many were here last time Charlie was here? Yeah? Okay. He's really, really good. His music is wonderful. His presence is even more powerful. So please come, treat yourself. And then finally, I want to thank everybody who, we had a Unity cleanup day on Wednesday, and we had several people show up to help us declutter and tidy up and organize. You know, this is a beautiful campus, but it doesn't stay that way magically by itself. We've cleaned it up a lot over the last 4 years or so. It was in a bit of disarray, and it's really in pretty good shape. And now we're getting into the details. So if you were here on Wednesday helping with that cleanup, please stand up and be recognized. The staff also was involved in that. And, you know, I just want to say, I feel so blessed that we have this beautiful campus. What it requires of us is that we be good stewards of this beautiful campus. Not only keep it beautiful, but make it even more beautiful as we go. And so what I would ask is, we're going to be having some more cleanup days. So, you know, participate if you can. But in the meantime, every single one of us can be a good steward of this campus and this property. So if you use something, please put it back where you got it. And if you dirty something, please clean it up. It's really simple. I'm sounding like my parents now. Whatever. Occasionally they said something wise. That was one of them. So it's really simple. Treat this like your home, because guess what? It is. So if we all work a little bit, we'll have a lot done, and this will stay beautiful. So thank you all who helped. Appreciate it. And actually, one last thing. Masks. The news about COVID continues to be interesting. There is a new strain of COVID now, actually 2, that are pretty contagious, and they're a bit resistant to whether you've had COVID or all your shots. I'm going to strongly encourage you to wear masks when you're indoors. We have plenty of masks for you if you don't have them. I'm strongly encouraging you to wear your mask indoors. We have some of our staff out with COVID right now. There are some volunteers out. I have lots of friends who are, you know, it's... COVID is not doing what I'm going to be talking about today, letting go. And so we need to let go of our, whatever it is that prevents us from being very cautious. So I'm just inviting you to take that in, do with it what you will, all right? We're not making it mandatory, but I am encouraging it. So, and now, Rob, let's do our Unity song. I'm going to invite you to stand for this.
Every prayer is answered, every prayer is heard. Every thought and feeling, every spoken word, what your soul has longed for, what your heart can feel, is already here, is already real. There is no one out there, there is no one else. You hold all the answers deep inside yourself. There's a voice that whispers, there's no you, no me. There's just one, there's just unity. One power, one presence, one light to lead the way. All loving, all knowing, that answers when you pray. When the world looks darkest and your eyes can't see, gather all your troubles, give them all to me. I am always with you, I will always be. I am one, I am unity. We are one, we are unity.
Thank you. I want to invite you to close your eyes and turn your attention inward. If it's not comfortable to close your eyes, just create a nice, soft focus, either in these beautiful outdoors or the flame of the candle, a pattern on the rug, whatever allows you to just let the world be the world and be fully here. And so that we can be more centered and more present, the breath is the best way that I know to remind us that Father, Mother, God's Spirit is within and all around us. And so I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in to the center of your being. Allow it to fill your heart with the breath of God. And then release your breath fully, knowing that God is not only within, but all around. The breath reminds us of the truth of our being, reminds us that we are always in the divine flow, the divine circulation of the breath of God, the divine circulation of the good of God. We forget, we get busy, but the breath reminds us. And so once again, breathing in deeply to the center of being, let that breath of God massage your heart gently and open it and release the breath fully. Knowing that each one of us is a unique and individualized expression of the One. That individually, we are the expression of Father, Mother, God's Spirit on earth. Collectively, we are the expression of God. And so once again, breathe in deeply, breathing in the breath, the inspiration of Spirit. And as we breathe out fully, we share that inspiration with all whom we meet. And so we allow ourselves to be fully present, fully awake and aware in the divine flow that is the blessing of God. For this remembrance of the truth of who we are, I am eternally grateful. And so it is, and together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen. Oh, sorry, I'm walking away too soon. I'm going to invite you to say our statement of being together with me. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, who is perfect life, perfect intelligence, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. You are an individualized expression of God. We are individualized expressions of God.
There's a really great lyric in this song, and I wanted to point it out because it meant something to me this week. I don't know if it will for you. Where is it? Not everyone will understand you, but the right ones will love and stand beside you. Love it. Not everything's meant to go your way. One day you will realize it was always meant to be this way. Before you go and blame yourself, just know what's right for you will stay. Just keep being yourself and live your way. Just keep being yourself and live your way. Not everyone will understand you, but the right ones will love and stand beside you. Not every dream is going to come true, but the lessons you have learned will always guide you. Let it out and let it go. Life's too short. Not everything's gonna go your way. One day you will realize it was always meant to be this way. Before you go and blame yourself, just know it's right for you will stay. Just keep being yourself and live your way. Just keep being yourself and live your way. Not every chapter is forever, but they'll shape and teach you how to be better. Not every fall is a reflection of your worth. A different path can lead you to what you truly wanted. Let it out, then let it go. Life's too short. Not everything is meant to go your way. One day you will realize it was always meant to be this way. Before you go and blame yourself, just know what's right for you will stay. Just keep being yourself and love your way. Just keep being yourself and live your way. Just keep being yourself and live your way.
Thank you, Rob. A good song reminding us that we're here to live our lives, because you know what? Everybody else's life is already taken. So live yours, live your way, live your life. I'm going to invite you, as we always do, to start by reciting our core value affirmation with me. We embody Christ consciousness and live from the awareness that God is within and all around us. That's very comforting, actually. I'm going to start with a very important book. I imagine many of you have read this, Illusions, by Richard Bach. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. I want to start with a little story from here. Once there lived a village of creatures along the bottom of a great crystal river. The current of the river swept silently over them all, young and old, rich and poor, good and evil, the current going its way, knowing only its own crystal self. Each creature, in its own manner, clung tightly to the twigs and the rocks of the river bottom, for clinging was their way of life, and resisting the current, what each had learned from birth. But one creature said at last, "I'm tired of clinging. Though I cannot see it with my eyes, I trust that the current knows where it is going. I shall let go and let it take me where it will. Clinging, I shall die of boredom." The other creatures laughed, ha, 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 and said, "Fool, let go, and that current you worship will throw you tumbled and smashed across the rocks, and you will die quicker than from boredom." But the one heeded them not, and taking a breath did let go, and at once was tumbled and smashed by the current across the rocks. Yet in time, as the creature refused to cling again, the current lifted him free from the bottom, and he was bruised and hurt no more. And the creatures downstream to him, he was a stranger. And yet they cried, "See, a miracle, a creature like ourselves, yet he flies. See the Messiah, come to save us all." And the one carried in the current said, "I am no more Messiah than you. The river delights to lift us free if only we dare let go. Our true work is this voyage, this adventure." Pretty important wisdom from a little river creature. Surely we can embrace that and do him one better. You think? Okay. I believe that we are simultaneously on two journeys of life experience. One is a horizontal sort of storyline, our life storyline, if you will. It's our outer experiences, our doingness. Unfortunately, many of us mistake that outer horizontal storyline for our purpose for being in life. But there's another, even more significant journey, the vertical journey of life that takes us from heaven to earth and back again. The vertical journey is what's going on within us and the inner experience of our beingness. That vertical journey is our highest calling. It's our authentic, full expression. It's who we've come here to be. And it's important, I believe, and I think it's part of that adventure and the journey that the little creature was talking about. It's part of that journey to align the inner being and the outer doing into one life. You ever felt like you had two lives going on and you were having a hard time kind of keeping them together, keeping track of them? Or am I the only one who's ever been through? Please tell me I'm not alone. You know, where you feel almost like you're fighting with yourself. Part of that is that those two journeys that we're on, and they're out of alignment perhaps some of the time. And so it's our goal to bring them into alignment, to have one life, to live one life, to be who we've come here to be and to do what we've come here to do. To let the outer doing arise out of the inner being, not the other way around. And to let go of what is not ours to be and do. You know, in my early years, especially when I was, trying to make a career for myself, I really tried to adapt to be what I thought I needed to be. It wasn't, to me, that's the midlife crisis. We finally wake up and say, geez, maybe I should live my life and not the one that other people think I should or that I think I should in order to please other people. And so embracing that one life where our beingness guides our doingness, I think is highly important. And it's important to let go of who we're not. That famous philosopher unknown wrote, "Be who you are and let go of who you are not." Let go of who you are not. It wastes time and energy. Focus on that inner experience as the intentional cause of your outer expression. The inner should be reflected in the outer. Align inwardly with who you've come here to be, and that will then be expressed outwardly in what you've come here to do. It lines up really nicely when we do it that way. Alan Cohen says, your point of attention is your point of attraction. And so we will attract to ourselves what supports our authentic beingness by what we give our attention to. If we're giving our attention to things that are not really us, we're not going to be supported in that alignment of having one life that is in congruence and is in alignment. If we do that, if we allow ourselves to move into alignment, then we are free to express authentically and powerfully, and we can do it with ease and grace. We'll be the envy of all of our friends. Consider the following questions. And close your eyes if it feels comfortable to do this when I ask you these questions. Otherwise, again, a soft, fuzzy focus. Where do you think you are right now on your horizontal outer journey, your doingness journey? Just take a moment and think about where you think you are on your outer journey. And notice how it feels. Now take a deep breath in and continue breathing in and out. And ask yourself where you are on your vertical inner journey, your journey of beingness. So check in, see where you think you are, and notice how it feels. Now, final question. Are these two journeys in alignment with your most authentic self and with each other? Are your two journeys in alignment? And how does that feel? Whether they're in alignment or out of alignment, how does it feel? So now you've got a little bit of a baseline for your own life, and I'll invite you to come back to this time and space. To let go, to relax, and to let God is a much more powerful energy than resistance, than trying to fight with what's unfolding from within and all around you. Anxiety, attachment, inauthenticity is very hard work. It's a big, huge energy drain. Grace, calm, authenticity is easy. There's an easiness to it, and it literally boosts your energy. Our authentic inner being creates our outer affairs with peace and ease and grace and balance if we allow it to, if we come from inside out. Again, our philosopher unknown teaches this: hard work pays off in the future. You may have noticed that. Hard work pays off in the future. Ease pays off now. Just imagine when you're working really hard on a project or in your career, you're working really hard, and it most of the time doesn't pay off until down the road a piece. When you're on vacation, you're at ease and relaxed, it pays off now, right now. So what if we were able to do that vacation sort of ease in all the other areas of our lives and not work so hard, but work with ease, be with ease, be easy, be free? I want you to take a moment now and consider something you're willing to release anxiety over, something you're willing to let go. Nature abhors a vacuum, so we don't want to just leave you at the space of letting go of that anxiety. You want to now embrace and embody what you want to experience with grace and ease instead. So replace it with something that's easy, grace-filled. And know that you can do that at any time. If you catch yourself working too hard or getting anxious, go within and let it go. Replace it with something filled with ease and grace, and then proceed. You know, I know when I was striving really hard as a young person in my career, my corporate career, I worked really hard, and I really strived a lot, and I realized at some point that part of the reason that I did that was because I was fearful of what would happen if I didn't. So I was worried and fearful about an unknown boogeyman that I'm sure I'd largely made up in my own mind. And so I think sometimes this is it's a call for us to move from inner consciousness, or to move our inner consciousness from fear to faith. Faith that we are supported. Faith that we don't have to run the world. We don't have to work so hard to be okay. And so we're called to let go of any kind of intimidation or pressure or panic or anxiety or fears, because with fear as our guide, what happens is that no choice or action that we take is really reliable or valuable, because it's guided by fear, which is really kind of a false prophet. Anxiety, anger, and disconnection can result. And we end up with our least creative and least effective results, our least creative and effective self. But if we let the faith of Spirit within and all around us guide and lead us, then we can let go of fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. And we can embrace faith, F-A-I-T-H, finding amazing inspiration, truth, and harmony. Transmute fear to faith. It'll bring peacefulness, power, spiritual living, living from the inside out, from our awakened inner being. Take a moment to review a past choice that was made from fear and ask yourself, how did that go? How did that work? And now take a moment to remember a choice or an action led by faith. And ask yourself, how did that work for you? When we're faced with adversity or anxiety or when life is hard, I believe that we can use that adversity to turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. They can lead us to that easier, more balanced life of alignment. I'll tell you a little story. There was a man who was shipwrecked on an island, and he'd built himself a little hut and a campfire, and he was cooking breakfast one morning, and he saw a ship out there in the ocean, and so he dropped everything and ran to the beach, screaming and jumping up and down, but the ship didn't see him, and so they kept on going. So he was pretty dejected, as you can well imagine. And so he returned to his hut only to discover that his breakfast fire had caught the hut on fire and it was now gone and he had nothing. And so he was pretty depressed, and he sat there weeping next to what was left of his hut. Eventually he fell asleep, and the next morning members of the ship's crew were waking him up, and he was completely amazed, thought maybe he was dreaming. But then he said, "How did you find me?" And he said, "Well, it was easy. We saw your smoke signal and we turned around." So what appeared to be a disaster actually became his saving grace. And so sometimes it requires us looking with new eyes and reframing. You know, I think we're called sometimes to adjust our seeing and to see not with just physical eyes, but to see with the eyes that are within us, the eyes of spirit, and to see things differently. You know, if we're confronted with a challenge or a setback or a seeming defeat, look for the stepping stones. If they look like stumbling blocks, transmute them, because that's the choice. Either turn those stumbling blocks into stepping stones, or another choice is we can just let it go and let God guide us through that. And we'll begin to see those stepping stones. We can let go of our old thinking, or we can repeat that old experience over and over and over again. I think the stepping stones is a better route. It's the one I recommend. So I would invite you, don't repeat. Don't repeat that old behavior, that old thinking. Don't repeat, but rather repent. Bet you didn't think you'd hear that word in a New Thought church. It's one of our favorites, to repent, right? But here's the good news. Repent comes from the French word repense, which simply means to rethink, to reframe, and to re-empower ourselves. So next time you hear the word repent, embrace it in that way. It's an opportunity to rethink, to think again, to have a new thought. I'm going to give you some examples of how we can reframe, rethink, re-empower ourselves. I've had an interesting week. It's quite a while ago that I decided to do this particular topic. And apparently, this pesky kidney stone inside of me was listening and decided, gee, maybe I'll do some letting go. And so I've been having a good old time with a kidney stone all week in excruciating pain and doing my utmost to let go of embracing the pain and imagining that it's not there, imagining that I'm letting that pain go out into the ethers. And wondering, gee, such a tiny, kidney stones are little wee tiny things. They're like little balls with razor blades on them. And so they make themselves very known, small but mighty. And I thought, how many other little wee tiny things in my life do I allow to entrap me in some way that I'm not willing to let go of in order to be free to the bigger possibility? I had a lot of time this week to think about that. And I realized there were a lot of little tiny things I allowed to imprison me. And it's only in letting go that I become free and move into possibility. Now, kidney stone, I hope you're listening, because it's more stubborn than I am. It's moved some, but it's still in there, still hanging on a little bit. So I'd invite you to be in prayer with me for more letting go this week. I'm willing to give it up. But I thought, how interesting that this is the topic I chose, and just in case I missed anything important about it, hello, a graphic example of how little things that we hang on to can keep us from being free and moving into possibility and ease and grace. You know, this week, as I mentioned, folks came through Unity to do some letting go, decluttering, releasing things so that we can be aware of what we have here and be good stewards of what it is that we have here, and to be able to be free to use the things that we want to keep and to let go of the things that no longer serve us. They may serve someone else. And so we did that. It's in these little tiny things in life that we can begin to be aware of the more important, more significant things in our lives that we may be blocking in some way. To do some letting go. And so think about the disempowering stories that you may be telling yourself over and over again, those bad experiences. Because you know, every time you tell yourself that story or anyone else that story, you relive it. And you hold yourself prisoner yet again. And so let it go. Move on. Be free. You know, substitute words and stories that empower you instead. Hang on to those. Live those. You know, I was thinking about, actually just this morning, I was thinking about what are some of the stories that I used to tell myself as a kid, and it was stories from a couple of recurring dreams that I had when I was very little. One was, it was so cool. It was like I was on this gigantic swing, and the swing was just suspended in midair. And I was swinging and swinging and swinging and swinging really high. And I remember when I got up to the highest point, I just let go, jumped off, and I flew. It was so cool. If you've not done that, imagine doing that. It is so cool and freeing. And I was just flying. And that was a recurring dream. And what a wonderful dream to nurture that possibility of flying free. And then there was another dream that was recurring at about the same age. And the visual of it was actually in the town where I was living at the time. And we lived right butt up against some very, very big mountains out west. And there were they were like mountain men, but they were more like the abominable snowman, only brown, not white. And they had sort of a human face, but they were all covered in hair and fur. And they would come down from the mountain into the town, and the people would run screaming. They're very fearful of these, what they thought were monsters. And I decided instead to go talk to them. And so I went and talked to them, and they took me up into the mountains where they lived, and we sat around a fire in a circle, and we just talked. And then I realized that they weren't so scary after all, and that they just wanted to get to know us. And so I said, you know, I'll bring you down to the village or down to the town, and we'll get to know everybody so that nobody has to be scared. And so as a tiny kid, I was looking at the possibilities of what can we do that's positive, that sets us all free into a new possibility. What a wonderful thing to have recur as a child. And then I grew up. And I had some bad experiences. And I repeated them over and over, not realizing I was re-experiencing them at the same time. And so if you have some bad stories, replace them with some good ones. Think back, maybe as far back as I had to go, to when you were really small and you didn't make up bad stuff. You became the hero. You became the one flying free. Retrieve your good stories so that you can relive them. Let go of fighting, resisting, and apply some spiritual martial arts. And so I would say to engage, first of all, engage your divine partner, Father, Mother, God, Spirit, to move along this journey with you, to guide you, to lead you, to walk with you side by side. Because our ultimate freedom is a boundless inner freedom that arises out of spiritual awakening. And that arises out of engaging in spiritual practices like prayer and meditation and catching God's vision. That will set us free to redirect againstness energy into be for what you truly want kind of energy. Because what we focus on and give our energy to increases. From the Arabic word for problem, the Arabic word for problem actually means another view, to have another view. It invites us to look from a higher consciousness, from that vertical journey at what's occurring in our lives. My friend and mentor, Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith, says that every problem is a question wanting to ask itself, and every question is an answer wanting to reveal itself, and every answer is an action wanting to unfold through us. So be mindful. Be mindful of the power of your word. Be mindful that you can move from victim to victor at any time you choose. Transmute the stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Move setback into being set up for good. Move detour into course correction. Move crisis into opportunity. Move failure into experience. Trouble into challenge. And problem into project. Reframe, rethink, re-empower yourself for freedom. Author Alan Cohn teaches us this. Do not pay a lot of attention or give energy to the situation from which you are trying to release yourself. Instead, talk about where you would like to be and how it will feel to be there. Then step ahead confidently and expect positive results. When peace and ease are at the heart of your choices, every step will bless you. Remove your consciousness from what is not working, and you will find a cornucopia of what is working. Focus on the vertical journey and allow it to be reflected in the horizontal outer journey. I guarantee the result will be something you will welcome, and it will set you free. So blessings on your journey with the freedom of letting go. Begin by letting go of all that does not support who you've come here to be and what you've come here to do. Let go and be free. And so it is. And together we say, thank God within and all around us. Amen.
Let go. Let come. Release the past. Receive the new. Let go. Let it come. Trust the love to guide you through. There's a greater possibility rising up inside of me, but the wounds of my past won't let go. How do I let the pain go? Yeah, standing in the truth I know right now. Love is healing me. Yeah. Love is healing me. Yeah, Let go. Let come. Release the past. Receive the new. Let go. Let come. Trust the love to guide you through. Oh, trust. Yeah, love. Trust. Trust the love to guide you through. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Love is healing me. Love is healing me. Yeah, love is healing me. Oh, love is healing me. Let go. Let come. Release the past. Receive the new. Let go. Let come. Trust the love to guide you through. 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 Yeah, trust the love to guide you through. Trust the love to guide you through. Trust love. Trust love.
Thank you, Rob. Let go, let come. So do we have, yep, there they are. There they are now. We have children. Come on down. All right, and their teacher, Cheryl. Oh, we have our dancer back. No dancing today? No, this is our little dancer from a couple weeks ago, but I guess we have to pay now for dancing. No, free dancing. Okay. All right. Cheryl, thank you so much for the work you do with our children, because I don't think that children are our future. They are our present, which is creating a future. So Let's support them, and let's bless them now. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you, and we see the living Spirit in you. Yeah. Thank you so much, kids. Now, I understand, we know we have a dancer. Are they going to tell you? Usually they clam up right about now, but. You want to tell us what you learned?
We went over
The 5 unity principles. Some of y'all might want to hang close to these folks and they'll let you know what the 5 unity principles are, because I suspect some of us may have forgotten. So this is why I call them also the wisdom keepers. So if you need a little wisdom, see if you can borrow one of these kids from their parents. All right? Okay, good. And you know, I got to tell you just a quick story. When I was teaching some classes, spiritual classes, I noticed that the parents or the adults who had children in the children's program always did better in the classes. And I later discovered they were getting coaching from their kids. So if you need a coach, there you go. All right, thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. The 5 unity principles. See the kid? There, she's starting to bounce. Starting to bounce a little bit. All right, I'm going to invite our chaplains and our ministers to come forward, please. David's back there. He's a chaplain, but he's working the soundboard right at the moment. There's Reverend Amy. We got Reverend Matthew. We got Virginia. And so know that these folks are available to you, our prayer practitioners and our ministers. They're available to you for what we call a 1-minute miracle after the service, because prayer, said in belief from inside out, is that alignment with the vertical journey. And so your realization only takes a moment. And so they will be available to you after the service. Please thank them for the service they provide here. Also want to remind you that on Wednesday evenings, we have our Wednesday evening music and inspiration, 7 p.m. This week, what are we doing? Faith. Oh, well, isn't that a coincidence? So the theme is faith, and the music will be brought to you by Elaine Silver and me. I will be here this Wednesday. So please join us. If you've not done a Wednesday service, check it out. I think you might like it. It's pretty cool. It's a nice midweek uplift, if you will, recentering. And so let's do our offering. This is an opportunity that we have to know that we live in an abundant universe with a generous God. And so let's embody God's abundance right here and right now, knowing that we have more than enough to enjoy, to spare, and to share. And so let's say our affirmation together, and we'll ask that you leave these in the what do you call those things? Basket? They're not baskets. Bowls, offering bowls, plates. Sorry, I can't think of the word. Anyway, these lovely ushers will be back there to receive your gift. If you're not leaving a physical gift in the bowl today, please put your hand over in blessing so that you can be part of the circulation. Say with me, please. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive abundantly. And look at this. Woo! Abundance right here. All right, so I'm going to invite you now to please stand and say our ask and receive. Man, that was one of the quickest manifestations on the planet right there. Let's say our prayer for protection, followed by the peace song, please. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God Lord our Creator, family all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.